So, in this video, I want to talk about the Section 204 witness and what that is, okay? This is Rand's Laurentia Lombard in the Jocelyn Smith trial. She was a Section 204 witness. Yes, we're still talking about the SENZO MEYIWA trial, so don't click off. Go ahead, hit that subscription button because you already know how we roll now on Mzansi Unfiltered. Not subscribed, no comment. That's it. It's the new house rules. Drop a one if you agree. But let me talk about Renz for a second. This is Renz when she was arrested as part of them Gulugutus that abducted and trafficked Jocelyn Smith, the 7-year-old girl from Saldanha Bay over there in the Western Cape, under the leadership, the judge. Yes, Judge Nathan Erasmus. If you've been on my channel long enough, you know I do drop some hints here and there about Judge Nathan and how phenomenal he is. But I want to stick on the topic of Section 204. Jiggy, my lord, Gwabini did not show up to court today, and Mnisi produced a doctor's note to say he's not coming. He's not coming, but guess what? Everybody agreed that they can continue. And my lord said, I disagree with all of you. What is wrong with you? Gwabini is a Section 204 witness. We need to proceed. And Tony, or we can't proceed without his counsel. I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, so that man really is a Section 204 witness? And they treat him like trash? It's such a huge contrast to how Laurentia Lombard was treated in the Jocelyn Smith trial. You see, I do go to other courts and I watch them just so I can bring you the details to you, okay? Even though you guys don't watch those other videos, that's okay. I still watch them. Anyway, point that I am making is Renz was treated like a goddess, okay? She was escorted all the time into court. She was driven, she was picked up, she was taken to the doctor. Notice the state didn't even know Gwabini has gone to the doctor. This is a Section 204 witness they keep reminding us. But why do they treat him like trash? Mnisi is not wrong for saying, and then they picked him up in the trash and cleaned him up. But Renz, I want you to see when she was arrested and part of the accused what she looked like and what she looked like after she became a Section 204 witness. Listen, it was an instant transformation. Even Judge Nathan Erasmus said, who is this? Because there's a huge difference. Clearly, there's drugs involved. Probably they cleaned her up, got her off the addiction, and the immense weight gain. She even used to put on blush in court, okay? She had blush. She would have braids. She was a changed woman. Of course, we don't have visibility to Gwabini, but I can assure you, he doesn't sound like a Section 205 or if he's getting any benefits from the slush fund, yeah, as Paul O'Sullivan calls it. In fact, he's whining, and I use the word whining loosely, that, hey, the longer I'm inside parity within this court, I am losing income at my job. And all the court offered him was a letter to tell the employer, don't terminate his employment. That's kind of disgusting. Anyway, we've traversed that in another video, but in this video, I want you to hear how Mnisi Wemvula stands up and reacts to Advocate George Baloyi's heads of arguments. Because even I was like, hey, wait, Baloyi, I'm so confused. Are those your heads of arguments, or you're just telling us what we all watched live as Gwabini gave his testament? Because you're not changing anything. And then Mnisi catches him. Listen, let's listen to how Mnisi starts his response to Advocate George Baloyi. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. Okay, so while editing, I realized I didn't explain. Renz also had her own lawyer, okay? The purpose of that lawyer is to keep Renz kind of in order during her testimony, that she doesn't incriminate herself, because the purpose of being a Section 204 witness is that you provide testimony to the state's case that will result in a conviction of the accused. In this case, Gwabini would be providing a testimony confirming Zungunaiza's story that would result in the 5 accused being convicted for the unaliving of SENZO MEYIWA, and then he then applies for his own charges to be dropped and he walks away a free man. By the way, if you don't know, Renz was granted indemnity, which means she walked away scot-free and was not charged for everything else that the Mkulugutus got. They got life. She walked clean and clear. Gwabini is not in that same situation, but here comes Baloyi today to say he's a Section 204 witness. I was so confused, but anyway, let's continue listening on.
But fast forward in the argument, the state says we could only have used Mr. Kwabeni also as a Section 204, and with the content of the statement that he allegedly made. I'm still struggling to understand that, my lord, because the minute the state made Mr. Kwabeni available to us after they have decided not to use him, and we consulted with Mr. Kwabeni is no longer a state witness. Mr. Kwabeni could no longer have been branded as a Section 204 witness or what. Therefore, any branding of Mr. Kwabeni as a 204 witness at this moment in time is misplaced, my lord. Because, as I've said, when this same point was raised, when Mr. Kwabeni was being cross-examined, the court will recall that, not really cross-examined, when I let Mr. Kwabeni in evidence in chief, the state stood up and said, it wonders if the process is proper that I should lead Mr. Kwabeni as a normal witness instead of me requesting the court to warn him in terms of Section 204. And then I said, no, but look, Mr. State, to us, Mr. Kwabeni is not a Section 204. To us, Mr. Kwabeni is just a normal witness. Look, you wanted to use him as a Section 204, but for reasons that are only known to you, you decided not to use him when you were presenting your own case. And then you later on make him available to us. And in fact, my lord, to be very specific, these are the words that I use. As said, you decided not to use him. And we went there to at the trash place. This is the way that I use. We went at the trash place, we picked him up, we cleaned him, we brought him here so that he can come and assist the court to tell exactly what happened on the 26th of October 2014, my lord. Now the state says no. The defense can only use Mr. Kwabeni. If Mr. Kwabeni is branded by the defense also as a 204 witness, my lord. We did not call him as a 204 witness, my lord. There is no such a provision in the Criminal Procedure Act that if a state fails to use a witness who they had anticipated to use as a Section 204, then when they do not use him and they make that witness available to the state, then they decide to make that witness available to the defense, then the defense should also use that witness as a Section 204 witness, my lord. That is pretty wrong. That will be very unfair, because the status that the state had accorded him by virtue of them not having called him lapses. Any person that is involved in the trial could pick up that witness, interview him. If his testimony is relevant to the trial, then he can simply request that witness to come and testify before court in order to assist this court to come to a just and an equitable finding, my lord. Now, the state had requested this court very, very passionately that the court should understand its plea to file heads of argument in order to deal with this issue, my lord. Now, as I was expecting, I thought that the state would come up with something totally, something that is totally out of the realm of the ordinary, from the process that is known with regard to how a statement of a witness is being dealt with if the credibility of that witness is to be challenged, madam.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the cookie crumbled. I endorse everything that Mnisi Unfiltered said, but not only that. Whoever threatened Mnisi Unfiltered, oh my goodness, they're going to regret it, because he came back with fire. And he called Judge Baloyi, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What could you possibly be doing? Because all we need is for you to prove it. And you must prove it. And Judge Baloyi came to read us only the evidence and didn't prove the statement, which is quite a shocker. Quite a shocker. And Mnisi goes ahead and calls him out. But I wanted to make this video so we can talk about the Section 204 witness and Tonton situationship and why Baloyi failed dismally, in fact, embarrassed himself with his failed attempt to make Kwabeni a Section 204 witness, but is not giving him the benefits of the Section 204. Very, very unfair. But with that said, I'm going to end this video here so that we can start a new video. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, you don't get to comment, you don't get to express your views right here on Mzansi Unfiltered. You can always correct that by hitting that subscription button. It must say subscribed, and the comment portal opens up for you, okay? I'll catch you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps keeps the lights on. Bye.